Alright, so today I'm going to show you how I made this painting. I'm just going to have the time-lapse video playing as we go ahead and discuss what exactly I was thinking and the inspiration and motives behind this specific painting. Again, the program you see me using is Procreate, and I'm just starting off with the technical pencil brush and nothing too crazy, just starting off with a quick sketch before I hop into the colors here. As you can see, I'm just putting down the base layer colors first, just so I can get an idea of where to start. So if you follow my Instagram, you can kind of see the transition from me drawing a lot of realistic portraits to slowly transitioning into a more stylized version. And with this painting, you could still see some of the realistic aspects, but I really wanted to emphasize that, again, it's not super realistic. It's more of like an in-between of that and more of like a anime cartoon style. So after I lay down the base colors, I like to go ahead and put in the shadows using a multiply layer on a new layer. And then after I put in the shadows of where they're going to be, I'd like to include the highlights. And again, I'm going to go ahead and move in from the main focus, which is going to be the face, and then I go to the hair. As you can see, just painting in the shadows and the highlights first, not getting into full detail with the rendering just yet. I want to get the big picture first. So now that the base colors are done, as you can see here, I'm going in and painting in the eyes, since that is the first thing people usually look at in a portrait painting. The main brush that I'm using for most of this painting is the round brush. I just like to use it because it's simple and easy to use. So going more into the details here, I'm just using the round brush again to paint out the lips and the smudge tool as well to soften up some of those edges. And then going into the nose, just making it a little bit more saturated with more of a red color so it could pop up from the rest of the face. So you can kind of see the difference and make it a little bit more three-dimensional as well. And here you can see me using the liquify tool just a little bit to adjust the proportions of the lips. It was a little bit off. So for the hair, I'm painting in the highlights now. This was a little bit different than what I'm used to because the hair is very curly. So I tried to emphasize that with the way that I actually put down the brush strokes. And I also like to use a different variant in the color of the hair from the reference I was using. Just again, just a stylistic choice just to make the hair overall look a little bit more saturated as a whole. And then using a syrup brush just to throw in the little hair strands that you see. For hair strands, you don't want to obviously add in every single little hair strand. As long as you can emphasize the hair strands by the highlights and in some of these shadows, the hair will look believable. You want to tackle hair in chunks. You don't want to go in there and try to draw every single little hair strand because it's going to take you forever if you do it that way. And for the silhouette of the hair, you want to throw in some loose strands on the edges just so it doesn't look too flat. And then here you can see I'm just darkening my shadows, and I think I also made some of my highlights lighter. Just a rule of thumb, usually when you're going through a painting, the first layer of color that you put down is going to be your lightest layer, even if it's for a shadow or highlight. And then later on, you can make that decision of if you want to make your shadows darker or your highlights lighter. I also increased the hue of this portrait just because I like that more saturated look. And just for some of the finishing touches, I'm going on a new layer using an airbrush and selecting the color dodge layer. So that pretty much wraps it up. Thank you guys for watching. I'm still working on the Drawing for Dummies Part 3. That should be coming out soon, and I will see you guys next time.